If you would ask me 5 years ago if we'd be here today, I had some serious doubts.
But more than a decade and $40 million later, the Albuquerque Police Department is officially done with the Department of Justice. A U.S. District Court judge dismissed the settlement agreement today, ending federal oversight of APD and agreeing the department is in full compliance. It's been a long road, though, to get to this point. So let's bring in Cassie Foote. So let's recap. I mean, it's been a long way to get here. How we got here, and of course, what happens next.
Yeah, it has been a long road. The ruling comes just days after the city of Albuquerque and DOJ filed a motion together to dismiss the remaining portions of the court-appointed settlement agreement, or CASA. CASA was put into place in 2014 after a DOJ investigation showed a pattern of officers using excessive force, and those were some dark days in Albuquerque. These protests came after a string of controversial police shootings, but the final straw was the deadly shooting of James Boyd, a homeless man camping in the foothills. His death led to public outcry. Now, under the watchful eye of the Department of Justice, APD has undergone new training emphasizing constitutional policing, meaning treating suspects equally regardless of race or gender, restructured multiple divisions for more supervision and oversight, appointed a superintendent to oversee officer discipline, expanded community outreach, especially to minority groups, and made its data available to the public to increase transparency.
This is thousands and thousands of monitored, accounted for paperwork demonstrating compliance. This is millions and millions of dollars of outside experts validating that the work was done. And this is also a judge agreeing with that.
Yeah, so city leaders are obviously celebrating this milestone, saying it's because of all the hard work put in over this more than a decade now. Others, though, are hesitant, especially after what the president of the Albuquerque Police Officers Association had said to you just recently.
Yeah, I talked to the union president last month, and he told me a lot of officers only complied with the new training and regulations to keep their jobs.
These officers have been dealing with this consent decree for more than a decade, and it's going to take time to train a lot of this craziness out of them.
I mean, there are a lot of ways that one can look at the impact of the settlement agreement. But what overall does APD leadership have to say about what happens next now that the DOJ is gone? Well,
obviously, they don't want all of this hard work and all these years to go to waste. Both Mayor Keller and Chief Medina say the culture of the department is completely different than when the DOJ stepped in originally. And just because the department is free to run itself now, the work is not finished.
We should always be looking, how are we going to get better? How are we going to improve communications with the community? How are we going to reduce use of force? How are we going to ensure that a bad incident doesn't repeat itself?
Medina also says he hopes and prays the future leaders of the department will respect what they've built.
And there's a lot of uncertainty there with the mayoral election coming up and potentially a new administration. We'll see. Cassie, thank you so much.